Greetings, YouTube. So today we are taking a look at Mortal Kombat from Storm Collectibles Liu Kang. Wasn't expecting this until May, and then BBTS was like, hey, it's in, so here it is. If you've watched any of my videos in the recent past, I made a custom of Liu Kang using the McFarlane Mortal Kombat stuff. I wouldn't have made this if I'd known this one was coming in March, but it is what it is. So let's have a look at it. So a quick look at the box here. We got the window packaging. You got Liu Kang, and we got some alternate heads up here. We got some alternate hands. He does come with this huge dragon. If I'm honest, I would have liked an option to get him without the dragon, but the dragon is kind of a cool touch. You got some artwork here on the corner that looks cool. And then we have back, got my guy Liu Kang, and this is based on his look from, I want to say, Mortal Kombat 2 or 3. There's a little bio. All right, let's have a look at him. Okay, so here we have Liu Kang out of the package, and I must say, on first glance, Storm Collectibles is getting to a point where they are perfecting their craft. If you have held or messed with any of the Storm Collectibles stuff, especially from years past, they look good and they were quality figures, but you could tell that every iteration that they were coming out with, they're making improvements, they're learning lessons and improving upon the next release, and this one I would say is just more proof of that. So scope wise, face, oh my goodness gracious, that is great. So his hair is actually a soft rubbery piece as well, so, and all of this is soft, so you're going to be able to pose the head without having to worry about the hair being restrictive. And as far as the sculpt of him, his pants, the shoes, the look, his musculature is spectacular. This is so well done. And I like that they have gone with a more streamlined kind of lithe or slim Liu Kang. And future and more recent releases in games for Mortal Kombat, Liu Kang has gotten bigger and more bulky and more muscular, which I guess is not horrible. He's getting older. You get bigger when you get older. But this Liu Kang is more like the classic Liu Kang, who was more based on like a Bruce Lee body type. Not some big hulking guy. Strong, completely shredded, but not overly muscled up. But this is just a really, really nice figure. And you can tell that just holding him, he's lighter than other Storm Collectibles figures, at least the ones that I have. See the detail there on the gauntlets, little spikes, just very well done. I mean, he looks great. Excellent. I really can't find anything aesthetically wrong with him or that they could have did better. That's really good. All right, let's take a look at his accessories. Okay, so for accessories, you are going to get 10 extra hands, so 12 in total. He comes with these 2 fists, and then you are going to get several different martial arts type hands. So you get these ones with the thumbs splayed out. You get the eagle claw hands. Martial arts people know what that means. You get his kind of moving his fingers, getting ready to do something, squaring up with somebody's hands. You get a pair of just kind of relaxed open hands. And then you get a pair of splayed out open hands. Now, what is missing here is a pair of hands that he could use to hold something like a staff or a pair of nunchucks or something like that. The McFarlane Mortal Kombat Liu Kang figure actually came with a pair of nunchucks and some gripping hands. So that would have been nice, but in the, these are based on the earlier games. In the earlier games, Liu Kang did not use any weapons. He was all fists and feet. So not completely mad at it, but it would have been a nice addition. Then you also have 2 extra head sculpts. So you have his yelling face, where he is just completely letting loose. And then you also have his face, that he makes a lot of those noises. Again, he was based on Bruce Lee, so all of that yelling and weird noises as he's kicking people's ass, that's him. And then you also get this fire effect that has a open mouth on the end of it, and this is very well done, awesome looking. One of the things that he could do, besides not using a weapon or using his feet and his hands, was he had some fire powers for some ranged attacks. And that is it for accessories. So let's take a look at articulation. Okay, so for articulation, if you are not familiar with Storm Collectibles and how they make their figures, this might be a bit of an education for you. But they use a very soft rubberized part for the upper chest of their figures. Now, they sculpt it and make it look like it fits pretty good with the rest of it. So they do a good job of that. That also allows for a lot more articulation in the upper body. There is an endoskeleton kind of structure in here that allows you to get really, really good neck bend, really good ab crunch. So, you sometimes get this gappage in the back and you can kind of see that armature or whatever that's inside of there, that mechanism. There's a ball peg inside of there. But that allows for some very good and honestly sometimes very natural looking movements for your torso and upper body. You do have a butterfly joint in there as well. You're on a ball peg up here, but again, you got that under endoskeleton structure that allows for neck movement. And obviously the head can spin on the ball peg. You got your arm articulation, you got a bicep swivel, you are double jointed. The double joint looks great from the elbow side. Not the prettiest in here. I still kind of wish they could come up with a better way to do this so that it's not so obvious that this is a joint, but I guess it is what it is. Your wrist is on a little peg in there, and then the hands attached to the peg, so you get all types of different rotations and movements with your wrists. I talked about the ab crunch, but you also get some bend at the torso or at the waist. Legs, he's going way out, which is excellent for Liu Kang. In fact, he probably can go farther. Yeah, he can do a complete splits. He can go up really high. That's excellent. I noticed that they cut his waist rubber part a little bit higher so that you allow for this articulation. You're not going to make a Liu Kang and not give him great articulation. You're double jointed at the knee. You get a little bit of thigh twist here. It's not a true thigh twist, it's just a little bit. There is no boot cut, but you do get pivot on your ankle. It's on a different kind of ball setup, but you do get some pivot there. Actually, you can get more than that. This one's a little stiff. You can go back, very good. Forward is a little bit disappointing, to be honest. I would have thought he could go a little bit more forward than that. I don't want to push it too much. That feels like its limit. And then you also have a toticulation, as I like to call it. But yes, articulation wise, he is pretty standard for Mortal Kombat, but he is also a little bit better. I think they made sure that he was going to be, you know, as articulated as possible as far as Mortal Kombat figures go. Okay, so now that we've looked at Liu Kang, it's time to take a look at this dragon, which you might think of as an accessory, but really it's a completely different figure. It's articulated, it's big, so it needs its own section. All right. Okay, so we are back, and because of the size of this freaking monster, I had to adjust the camera angle, so excuse the whole, you know, seeing the rest of everything you're not supposed to see during my video, but this thing is tall. So this is the dragon that comes with Liu Kang, and it is spectacular looking. It is so well sculpted and so well done. I'm impressed. I am impressed. It's more than I thought it was going to be. I had this idea that it would be, you know, maybe you could move the arms and it was basically going to be a statue, but it's not. It is its own figure. Yeah, very impressive. So let's have a look at some of these details. You got this awesome looking head. Again, sculpt is excellent. Every single scale. The red eyes, the teeth, which are bloodied. The mouth is articulated. And you got colored, painted tongue in there. You got some details inside the roof of the mouth. Does the tongue move? Nope, tongue is stationary. That is awesome. As far as articulation goes, there is a little bit of movement up here, but not much. You can, however, move lower at the neck to turn the entire head and neck area. You have arms that are completely articulated. You got elbow there, you got wrist here, whoops. These hands are removable, but it does not come with extra hands. You have a articulation point here at the mid chest, another one here, another one here. Your legs are also articulated. You have movement at that knee joint. You have movement here at this joint. Then you also have it at the ankle. And your feet on that ankle can go down, it can go up. You have what looks like there's toe. Hold on a second. That one looks fused, but as you can see, it's supposed to open. That one opens. So the toes do move. I'm gonna have to look at this one. I might have to heat that up. But moving back here, you have another articulation point here. You had to actually attach this tail, so there's a big ball joint in here. And then there's one more in the middle of the tail. I believe that is it. Yeah, that's it. So yes, this is an entire figure. Now, did Liu Kang really need this dragon to be a good release? Of course not. But it is a nice touch, and it's an extra. It's something that you can put with other lines. You can use this as a monster for your 1/18 figures, or even for your 1/12 figures, to be honest, because it's huge. You can use it for decoration in you know, like a prop in a diorama. I mean, that thing, it's spectacular looking. So, very well done. Wasn't expecting to get a dragon with a Liu Kang. I was just expecting to get a Liu Kang, but when they announced it, it was like, well, I'm definitely getting Liu Kang, so I guess I'm getting a dragon too. And honestly, I'm pretty happy with it. All right, so now that we've looked at both figures and all the accessories, time for some comparisons. Okay, so since we have the camera already up in this weird configuration, we might as well just do the dragon ones first. So we got Liu Kang's dragon here, and then we have the dragons from the Golden Axe line from Storm Collectibles. So you got the blue one here and the red one here, and they are similar but different. These ones are a little bit more like beasts that you would ride. This one is got a long torso, and I guess you could ride it. You probably could sit a figure right here in this little area, but it obviously doesn't have a saddle or anything. But they look cool together. Okay, so first comparison we have here for Liu Kang is the new Storm Collectibles Liu Kang with my custom, which is built on a McFarlane Liu Kang body. Again, this Liu Kang is a lot more slender, a lot more lithe. He is a very, sliced up, shredded, smaller, thinner version of Liu Kang. Pretty much the first Liu Kang that we saw when the game's first out. More of a Bruce Lee prototype. This is the older Liu Kang who apparently got addicted to the gym, and now he's all buff and huge. Yeah, different lines. Maybe if McFarlane made their Liu Kang and based him on the older videos, he might have been a little smaller. I don't know. They both look good. I still like my custom, but this thing is just awesome. So maybe I'll do a time travel episode. I don't know. Next up, we have Liu Kang with his buddy, his guy, his road dog, Kung Lao. So one thing I don't think I mentioned when I was talking about Liu Kang's accessories, his hands, I was just switching out the hands a second ago. They're made of like a softer rubber material. The older Storm Collectible stuff, and I mean Kung Lao's a relatively recent release, these hands are not made like that. So that is an update on Storm Collectibles' part. They're doing something different with the hands. I'm assuming that's not going to only be for Liu Kang. So maybe Kano going forward, the new Shao Kahn, all of that other stuff. I mean, I think they're tweaking and changing things to make stuff better. All right, so here we have Katana from McFarlane and then Raiden from Storm Collectibles. She's a bit tall for this scale. She looks great, and this is, an excellent look for her. It's not her classic look, so there's that too. But yeah, scale-wise, this doesn't really work. You can fudge it, but in vanilla poses, she's too tall. Next up here, we have Scorpion and Cyber Smoke. Okay, and then to wrap up these size comparisons, we have the McFarlane Shao Kahn and then my custom Shang, made from a Ming the Merciless figure. This size actually works decently, depending on your version of Shao Kahn that you think of in your head canon. Okay, so final thoughts on Liu Kang and his dragon. So, looks-wise, both of them 10 out of 10. I have no qualms about any of the aesthetics, any of the sculpting, the paint work. All of that is great. I'm talking about it's spectacular looking. Liu Kang in particular, he looks like the classic Liu Kang. I just love the fact that they trimmed him down and made him, shredded. That's my mind's eye of Liu Kang. Articulation wise, the dragon has some limited articulation, but he has enough that makes him a figure and not a statue, and I honestly didn't expect it to have as much as it has, so his articulation is completely fine for me. Liu Kang's articulation is nearly perfect. I would say the only thing that I wish they would have did was allow for a little bit more movement up of his feet. The ankle articulation limits him as far as getting this foot up so that you can get a good hard pivot. The pivot is fine, but the foot itself does not go up enough to give you some more diversity in your stances. Other than that, the articulation is great. So that's probably an 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10 because of the ankles. But like his legs and arms and all that is perfect. So spectacular set. Didn't expect it until May at the earliest, and here it is, end of March. So like, comment, subscribe. Later.